chasing clout, hunting some clout. See you later. Alright, now let me get rid of this big old hat. But let's talk about clout, seriously. What if it wasn't around? What do you think would happen? Would people be doing what they're doing? Let's talk about it. Run that intro. Alright, so let's talk about this clout stuff. Now, first off, everybody likes to be liked. I think that's a pretty obvious thing. No one doesn't like to be liked because social stuff, it's actually probably some physiology stuff. I don't know. There's a reason that people like to be liked. I don't think that's too hard to understand. I mean, honestly, can't you say that you really like when somebody likes your post or when somebody likes one of your stupid videos of your kid or your cat or your dog or something like that, or you with your feet hanging off something? Come on, we all love that. When somebody likes something that we've done or something we've made, some drawing your kid did, they like it when you like it. Right, okay. So I think that's pretty, let's move past that. It's very natural for people to want to be liked. I want to be liked. I want you to like this video, but if you don't, whatever, just keep. And really, it's kind of a primal thing, right? So that's it's not unhealthy, really, if it's such a primal thing to at least want to be liked. And like I said, there's so many reasons why we could get into another discussion about that. And the reason I want to say that it's so natural is because as we discuss this, I don't want anybody to think that I think that chasing clout or not chasing clout is good or bad. I think that will be iterated a few parts throughout this conversation. So yeah, it's just a natural thing to want to be liked. But then we're at the actual question of what if there was no clout? What if people, and this is pretty, pretty hypothetical of this happening, but what if, now this is pretty hypothetical of actually happening, but what if people weren't given the amount of credit that they are given for things? If there was no I don't know, TV, there was no social media, you just didn't get the social approval for doing things that you get now. There was no maybe money involved, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but there was just no, I guess there'd be no external reasons for people to actually do things. And I think that's where we get to a division of reason, where there would be a group of people who wanted to do things because they really enjoyed them, and then there would be a group of people who either would stop doing things or would never do things because there would be no social validation that would come with those things. So, and a lot of the people who do those things for those amounts of social validation they basically just fall by the wayside, and you'd be left with the people who were doing those things specifically for the love of the game or the art or whatever. So, and there are those people who just want to be liked. There are people who are just playing music to be liked by people, or and they're it's not that any of these people are bad. It's just, again, I want to iterate that nothing's really right or wrong here. I'm just saying the difference of really the reasons why people do things. And it would be, it would just be interesting if the one aspect was cut off and it was only people who specifically did it because it's what they wanted to do, even if they weren't doing it very well or they weren't making a lot of money at it. That's another thing too. If you just weren't doing it well, I think people would do more things that they like. Again, this is a very large hypothetical thing, but I think to look at what the absence of clout would do actually shows us what it does when it actually exists, because it does. And again, there's no right or wrong here. I don't want to demonize anybody. All right, now further, I want to go into what if nobody could get paid. It's kind of the same thing in the sense of no validation. Money is kind of a validation of either I don't know. It's a validation of something, whether something's good or not. It's a validation that it's selling and or it has sold or whatever. I think it's a pretty that's a pretty worthwhile point to make. That money, whether you agree with it or not, it's at least a measure of the return something's getting, legitimate or not, from the market, whatever. But what if nobody could get paid either? It'd be like the sports people who couldn't get paid for college sports and stuff for years, but eventually more and more of these different sports now they get paid and they get, whatever. I know something recently had happened with that, but I mean, if people couldn't get paid and money was, we'll say we live in some sort of utopia, where everything is taken care of and everybody can have whatever they want. There's enough space and food and all that good stuff for people. Well, what would people do then? It would be the same kind of thing where the truest desire of the people would come out. There would be a group of people who would just fall by the, turn into some sort of dystopian nightmare. And then there would be a group of people who continue to do these things because they were things that they enjoyed doing, simply because of that, even if they didn't have to do those things that are quite hard and quite, I mean, it is hard to be an athlete and to train, isn't it? Don't you think? I mean, to be an athlete and to train like a super long amount of time, like all year, this to this time of year, to be ready for this time to this time of year. I mean, that takes a lot of dedication. I mean, whether you're in the sports or not, it's pretty cool. So you probably get like, even, I don't know, it would be interesting to see because there wouldn't be the people doing it for clout, like diluting the market essentially. It would be all people who were really, really into it. So I think that would be actually kind of interesting to see what would that do to things. And think about it, back in the day, artists had to die like to have their work appreciated. And I think it would be more like that, where there would be no striving for attention. It would just be pure creation. People trying to make things and work on things and be athletes or be extreme sports people or to be great, things that we associate a lot of clout with now, like models and stuff like that. People would do it simply because they enjoy the process of the clothes and the this and that, and people would do all sorts of things. People do YouTube videos because they like the process of setting up the camera, sitting down, thinking of an idea, talking about it, and getting out on a camera. So I don't know, call it that. I think it's more of like a utopian dream there. Now, clout used to be reserved, like it was super, like the amount of people who got clout was such a small, like, it was just such a small amount of people at any given time, and the churn was so slow that celebrities would be celebrities for 30 years. And now the churn has just absolutely gotten nuts. The speed of social media, of TV and movies and all these different things have made the churn of celebrities absolutely, like, I don't know, there's just too many of them, and the clout is being handed out like it's candy at the end, 2-3 days after Halloween. Like, there's just too much of it and we need to get rid of it, so here, have some on your Instagram page. So it's hard to justify some of the people who get this clout, but like I said, I mean, it's like kind of like money as being, so for somebody seeing some sort of value in it, whether it's legitimate or not to you or to me. So I think we should at least respect that. It was really hard to be famous in the old days. You actually had to be like really, really good, like in the top 5% of any given field, to be really, really, really good compared to everybody else. Now, if you're in the top 50, we'll say, then you're really good, because the lower 50 are just so bad. I don't know. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. I would assume there's some sort of principle going on there, but I don't know. Now, clout was also used like as reinforcement, and it was used to lift good people up based on action, character, and it wasn't always based on image. It was based on what somebody did for like the community, for the family, all this different stuff. Clout, it was a small scale clout. There wasn't like clout just from people in other countries that you'll never meet, who thousands of them who you'll never meet, and it doesn't matter. Um, and what you did was what created your clout. You couldn't like artificially create clout. Clout wasn't based on image; it was based on actual actions. So that is one place where it's changed. And so clout was reinforcement for good behavior. Now it's just reinforcement for this perpetual attention. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sad. And clout is actually a tool of meritocracy in a sense, but it's just been driven so far that it's lost its real, meaning. Like I say, it's being given so easily, and it's such an essential part of a meritocracy, that credit be given where credit is due, that it's now destroyed, and that kind of ruins quite a bit of different things that extend beyond kind of just getting credit on social media. It hurts a lot of different things. Nowadays, the clout itself is used to make other people feel bad. It's not used to display the positive actions that you've done, or to be an inspiration. It's used to make people. So now it's like almost like clout has been turned from a tool of credit, like to people who deserved it, to something that people want to attain in order to like use it as a weapon against other people. So again, it kind of ruins quite a bit of different things. So you probably want to watch who you're giving clout to, because it's probably matters in a sense. So let's get to the most resistance part of here, where we kind of suss out the lesson of the whole clout culture, and then what if there was no clout question. And that is, what are you doing for clout? Like, what am I doing for clout? And it's probably maybe this video. I don't know. Kind of. But really, that's the question. What are we all doing for clout? Respect yourself for your achievements, and realize what are the reasons that you're doing things. Are you doing things for attention? Or are you doing things because you care about the things that you're helping, and the people you're helping, and the stuff that you're building? Or are you doing it so that you can get attention from other people? I would say that's really the culmination here. And again, take the path of most resistance and really look at, why am I doing these things, and what can I cut out because I'm doing it for clout that I don't even really care about. You want clout for the things that you do and for good things. You don't want to use it to either cut other people down, or somehow raise yourself above other people, because it will come back to bite you. Give clout slowly and receive it very cautiously, because it's something that can be taken away from you. If it's any sort of external validation, can always be taken away from you. So you're probably better off not investing yourself in that. So just observe what you do and just be like, why am I doing this? Is this something I want to do, or is this something that is going to impress somebody else? Maybe it's cool to do something like that every once in a while, just to have fun, or just to kind of like, I don't know, show who you are as an expression, but to do it as a part of your self-validation is absolutely terrible thing to do. So what do you think? Do you think clout is important? Do you think we should give people more clout? Do you want clout? Should I get clout? What is it for? What is the clout culture? Is it a good thing? Or is it a healthy thing? Or do you think it's an unhealthy thing? Let me know in the comments, and yeah, leave a like, all that good stuff. I gotta get back to hunting for some clout. I'm out here clout hunting. Peace.